What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Tyson Fury. Get this. Eddie Hearn says that he'd like to see the huge underdog, Derek Chisora, knock out Tyson Fury next month when he challenges him for his WBC heavyweight title on December 3rd at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. Hearn thinks that Chisora is a good bloke, so he should be given a title shot against Fury. I guess being a good bloke is as good a reason as any for a contender to be given a shot. And this is what Eddie Hearn said. He said, "I think Del Boy is a gem. He's got one of the biggest hearts in boxing." He said, of course, on paper, Fury has beaten him twice. People aren't expecting Chisora to have a chance in the fight, but don't rule Derek Chisora out. He'll always give anything. He's a massive underdog in a fight, has a huge heart, and he's a warrior. Okay, he said, we're 1,000,000% behind him. I'd love to see him chin Tyson Fury. People don't know that Derek has a huge heart, and he's a real good bloke. I'm delighted for him to get not just a payday, because that's always important, but the opportunity, said Eddie Hearn. Let me counterpunch. We heard a good bloke, has a huge heart. People don't know he has a huge heart. A real gem. Been beaten before, don't rule him out. Been beaten twice before, don't rule him out. Okay, that's what we have. But none of those things explain why or how Del Boy could do it, besides just a lucky punch. Not his boxing ability, not his power, not his angles, not his stay busy mentality, nothing that he's explaining. So all of this is in the hoping department. You can tell that Eddie Hearn is for Del Boy. I think what we should extract from this article or the words of Eddie Hearn is he definitely supports Derek Chisora. And it also shows, without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, that he wants Tyson Fury to be defeated. And it just shows you that he doesn't care who does it, you know? And it also, if he doesn't care who knocks out Tyson Fury, as long as, you know, someone does, it just shows you who he doesn't want, or he doesn't really care to see him fight anymore, and that's Anthony Joshua. See, you know, someone saying, oh, I would love for that to happen, is someone that really doesn't care for a particular guy, you know, or a person like Tyson Fury. And I think you have to be careful what you wish for, because you don't want to adopt the same spirit someone else had or the same attitude, right? It reminds me back in 2019 when Shelly Finkel and Deontay Wilder and Al Heyman got together and turned down the DAZN deal for Anthony Joshua. And one thing stuck out about that particular ordeal and about a statement that Shelly Finkel said was that he wishes and he wants Anthony Joshua to lose so it would shut Eddie Hearn down and all of Matchroom. You know, and it just, this kind of put in, and don't get me wrong, Eddie Hearn didn't say that, but I don't think he had to. Because what's really holding those guys up? Those guys have risen, okay, over at Queensberry. Queensberry 3 or 4 years ago used to be kind of dull. Yeah. You know, they had some new fighters, some promising fighters, but not really, you know, those top elite fighters that was making a lot of money. Tyson Fury, you know, at that time was just coming back into the sport. So he hadn't really made a splash after, you know, making a draw with Deontay Wilder. So they didn't have the heavyweight crown. And everyone else, you know, like Joe Joyce, he was co-promoted by Sam Jones, and then Frank Warren was the the major mothering promotional company for Joe Joyce. But then again, he was still up and coming at the time too. So, and then no one really knew where these fighters were going to go, because a lot of other fighters were already, working with other, smaller promoters or whatnot. Now, you have Eddie Hearn wanting Derek, or loving the idea of Derek chinning Tyson Fury, but then what does it do for the business of boxing? Where do all the boxers go? Okay, what does it do for a potential Joshua Fury fight? See, my take on it is, sure, one fighter gets beat. That's kind of a wounded warrior. Okay, that's a damper on things. But if both fighters lose, that's a lose-lose. Especially to Derek Chisora, a guy that it may or may not be his last fight. So you don't know if Derek Chisora, if he does knock out Tyson Fury, which it's not out of the ordinary. Now, I'm not going to call Eddie Hearn a liar, but, that could happen. Slim to none, but could happen. It just shows you that he doesn't even want or care for the business aspect of it. He would rather prefer the downfall of a fighter versus the upcoming of business in the sport of boxing. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua should happen. Now, will it happen? I don't know. But if Derek Chisora knocks out Tyson Fury, that fight will lose the other side of the credibility. Because we've already seen Anthony Joshua fold. We've seen him fold once, twice, 3 times a lady, right? Tyson Fury gets knocked out by Derek Chisora, it would put a total stink on the heavyweight division, because at that point, you really wouldn't want to see a lot of fights no more, to be honest with you. Because Tyson has the type of reputation in the sport where I feel it's more like Floyd. Do you guys understand if Floyd would have lost to any of those guys, Robert Guerrero, Victor Ortiz, who else did he fight then? Canelo Alvarez. If he would have lost to any of those guys, he wouldn't be who he was today. Because it was almost like he had so many haters. He had people just waiting for him to lose. Tyson Fury's getting to that point. So if he does mess around and lose, it'll be lost. Okay, and so will that big money fight with Anthony Joshua. So again, I say, me counterpunching Eddie Hearn and his wishes and hopes, you better be careful of what you wish for, because that might happen and it may mess up the whole sport of boxing. But at the same time, it does actually cleanse the sport of boxing. Because there is no hierarchy. There is no fighter that's sitting out there undefeated, that's on top, and I've been on top, and this, that, and the other. The last of the Mohicans will be exactly that. The last of them, if Tyson Fury gets knocked out or chinned against Derek War Chisora. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn and his wishes of Derek Chisora knocking out Tyson the Gypsy King. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.